Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation review and wear test. So I am going to be talking about the About Face The Performer Foundation. This is my first product from About Face that I'm trying, and I've heard just really good things about the foundation itself. So I wanted to test it out and see what I thought of it. So in today's video, I'll be pulling you in closer, applying it with you on camera so you can just get the ins and outs while I talk about the details. Afterwards, I will check in with you about halfway through my day outside in natural daylight, inserting in some swatches to just compare the shade I have to some other shades in my collection. And then I will be checking in at the very end of the night after I've gone through the entire day and just giving my first impression thoughts on this foundation. So if that sounds good to you, if you like foundation videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, I'm gonna pull you in closer. We're gonna apply this and just talk about the details. All right, ignore the hair. I'm gonna fix it when I do the rest of my makeup. But let's get to applying this. Here is what the bottle looks like, or the component. I like that it's just clear packaging. It honestly probably just helps with the cost of it. This does retail for $22 and it comes in 45 shades. I think that's really great. $22 is an awesome price point. Just trying to take the tape off of here, especially since like I don't know why this one always sticks out in my head, but the CoverGirl Simply Essence, the new one that just came out, that one's $22. And I think it's because I wanted to buy it, but for a drugstore foundation, like $22, I just can't get behind. So I picked up the shade LM2 Neutral. To be honest, this might fit me now in summer, but in winter, I don't think it will. When I went to Ulta to pick this up, they were out of the shade I wanted, and it was so close to the end of my trip that it was either settle for this one or don't get it. So I got this one. I think it's okay. I mean, my sister kind of helped me shade match a little bit. So this claims to have a medium buildable coverage with a natural soft focus finish. It does not say what skin type this is meant for, so I'm assuming all skin types, and it doesn't say the best way to apply it. So I'm gonna do half my face with a brush, half with a sponge just to see. Now, if you're new to my channel, I don't put any primer on the first time I do a wear test, just so I could really get a good baseline of what this foundation can do. So I only have my skincare and sunscreen on. So I'm just gonna go in and just apply a little bit like this. And let's do the brush first. So let's just see. So it's supposed to provide 12 hours of wear. I like that a lot. That's actually a realistic wear time and not like 36 hours or anything like that. So it should be long wearing. It should be hydrating, be a second skin finish or feeling, but provide coverage. And off the bat, it feels like it does. It's blending in really quickly. It looks good so far. The shade match isn't terrible. And then as far as my skin type, just to briefly breeze over, I have normal leaning dry skin, and I do prefer a light to medium coverage with a natural finish. And I'm mostly really concerned, my skin concerns are enlarged pores on my cheeks here, and I care about longevity. I just want it to wear down nicely. I don't want it to crack and break up and look terrible at the end of the night. I would rather it wear away completely and have nothing left on my skin than have it like breaking apart, bunching apart. But so far, this is looking really nice, like almost undetectable for the coverage. I'm trying to zoom in close here and really see, but I am not usually a brush applier, and it's not giving me any kind of brush strokes where I feel like I need to go over this with my sponge. So here is the foundation applied with a brush. Here is nothing so far. I mean, my face is a little bit whiter than my body, so you can tell obviously the difference, but it'll match at the end here. Let's go in with the sponge side. I'm just gonna re-dip. It does have a doe foot, which isn't my favorite, but it's better than a dropper, so I won't complain too much. And it has a good amount of product on one dip. Like, I don't feel like I need to go in again and again. I can kind of just spread it around. And I'm assuming with a sponge, we're just gonna get a little bit less coverage since it's gonna soak it up a little bit more. Yeah, I think you can see the difference in coverage. Here you can see a little bit more redness on my cheeks versus this side. So I would agree that it's buildable, just depending on the method that you use. Either one's fine for me. Like, I'm not that picky on the coverage. Like, this is giving more light medium, this is giving true medium. So I'm gonna go over it with the sponge, even though you don't need to. I'm just gonna try and even out the coverage a little bit and make sure we've soaked up all the excess product so it doesn't kind of get all greasy. Looks really nice. I would agree that it's a natural kind of soft focus finish, not too glowy. It has some hydration. It's not fully matte. This is the definition of a natural if I was defining it. So pretty pleased so far, actually. I mean, I've heard good things about this foundation, so I shouldn't be too surprised, but I haven't really watched too many reviews. I just know that a lot of people like this. So, I mean, I'm happy so far. I think now I'm gonna go apply the rest of my makeup, maybe fix my hair a little bit, add my earrings, and then I'll be back to just show you how this looks once it's settled into my skin a little bit. Rest of my makeup is on. This is as good as the hair's getting today, but you know, here's what my skin's looking like. Clearly, I decided to go in a pink direction. I was just kind of feeling that. As far as my makeup, I did not use any kind of setting spray because I felt like I didn't need it. The foundation doesn't set all the way, but it definitely doesn't feel sticky. So I only used powder complexion products, and then I didn't use any powder on top. I did not set. The only thing that I set is my T-zone. So under my eyes, kind of in my forehead here, and my chin, just to help control the oils. The rest of my, cheeks and stuff, I only used my powder complexion products. No setting spray, already said that. So let's just see how this wears. I don't like to use too much powder just to make sure that it's the foundation I'm seeing and not the powder holding any kind of breakdown back. But right now, I think it looks really nice. It does give a natural finish, so I'm really mostly happy about that because natural, there's just so much interpretation to natural that it can kind of go either way. So, I mean, I think it looks good so far. It's not settling into my forehead wrinkles. I can kind of crease, and then it goes back. It's not collecting in there. So we're just gonna wait and see. Of course, all the makeup that I'm wearing is listed down in the description box if you're curious about details, but I'm gonna go about the rest of my day here. It's about 11 o'clock, I think. So I will check in with you all outside in about 4 hours in natural daylight. All right, it's been about 4 or 5 hours now. I lost track, but this is what the foundation's looking like. It looks really blurring on my cheeks, I will say that. I'm just really shiny on my chin. I'm almost thinking that I just have a combination skin type because I just get so oily in my T-zone. Maybe it's in the summertime, I'm more combination, and winter I'm more dry. I don't know, but it's not unusual for me to get shiny on my chin, not really in the forehead. The rest of my cheeks look really, really smooth though. Pretty impressed with that. As far as transfer, not too much of glasses marks. So if you wear glasses, you don't have to worry about that too much. Although it doesn't claim to be transfer proof or anything like that. I'm very happy with how this is looking. I've been pretty much outside in the shade for the last 4 hours or so, just kind of doing some work on my computer, but at least getting some sunshine in. So for being outside in hotter weather, I have to say this looks pretty good. I'm excited to see where this goes the next 4 hours. It is a little bit tough for me. Like, I really want to blot down my chin, but I'm going to stay strong and just see what this foundation does in the next 4 or 5 hours. But I'm going to insert in my swatches now, and then I will check in with you at the end of the night. It's the end of the night. I've had this on just shy of 9 hours now, and I'm looking quite shiny. I mean, I'm looking quite oily, especially like on my forehead, my chin. I mean, you can just see, I'll try to zoom in just a little bit, how just the oils have come to say hi. It is summertime. I was outside for most of the day. I was, you know, sweating, doing all the normal things. So that being said, I'm not upset. I am just going to blot this and see if it helps it out, since I didn't touch it up at all. And that's helped tremendously. You know, this foundation hasn't moved. I do think it is long wearing for 12 hours. Yes, you'll have to blot it down if you get a little bit oily like I do. If you have dry skin, maybe you like this. Of course, if you have tried this, let us know your skin type and what you think of this foundation down below in the comments. But for me, this is one I'm going to have to touch up, especially in the T-zone, because I did powder in the T-zone. I didn't powder on my cheek, and you can see my cheek isn't shiny. So it's just going to depend on your skin type, unfortunately. I think dry skin people are going to love this foundation. Oily skin, I'm not fully convinced. Now, next time when I try this, I will try it with more of a mattifying primer or an oil controlling primer, just something to maybe help keep the oils at bay and see how that works with this foundation. I always come back and just do a speed review type video on all the foundations and all the products that I try and do first impressions on. I recently just did a foundation one, so I'll link that video, but I'm happy with this. Like, I do think it does everything that it claims. It is long wearing. I haven't worn it for 12 hours, but I would say it still is long wearing, considering it hasn't moved, broken down, worn down, anything like that. I would say it's a natural soft focus finish. I would say that it's like a medium buildable coverage, depending on if you're using a sponge or a brush. You're obviously going to get more coverage with a brush. And I have no complaints. I mean, my pores look really nice despite how oily I got. And after touching this up, like, I would go back out like this. If I put this on in the morning and worked, had a job, then I came home and wanted to go out with friends, I would just touch this up and be good to go. I wouldn't feel the need to have to take off my makeup and reapply it. I think that you'd be quite happy with this. And I think for the price point, like, this is a really solid foundation. Like I said in the intro, like, some drugstore foundations are getting up to this price point. So I would stick with this over that. This is a really solid one, and I'm excited to just try About Face in the future. I know their eye paints are really popular. If you like those, or if you have any recommendations for About Face, let me know down in the comments. But I'm really just going to leave it at this. It did what it said it's supposed to do, and I have no complaints. I'm going to wear this again in the future, and I think I'll get my money's worth out of it, which is always really nice. I love that. So let me know your thoughts down below, but this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. The swatches were helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.